All right, welcome to the channel, guys. Here we teach you how to be unapologetically well across your physical fitness, your nutrition, your mental health, and of course, your emotional health. Social media makes it seem like everybody is on that hustle, on that grind set, essentially 24/7. And even if some of us can operate at that level, there has to be a little bit of thought into whether we actually should. And I think I look at the way I've been doing things with life the last couple of years and where I've come into really the last few months that, I feel like I can help people is understanding that having a successful and joyful life, being at peace is really a part of it. Not just how productive you can be. So if you're into wellness, physical fitness, nutrition, mindset, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. One thing I would like to hear from you guys, drop in the comments, have you ever felt guilty just for relaxing? Because I know I have, and maybe just give a few details about why that is. So I want to start with a little bit of an education on, if you're on social media, you look around at everything that is being told to us about constant grind set, constant hustle culture, and just getting real. I'm I'm walking out here in Spring Mountain Ranch in the middle of the desert in Las Vegas. It's beautiful. I'm listening to nature. There are rabbits and chipmunks and birds everywhere. And I'm being present, just enjoying myself out here and hoping that you guys can enjoy it as I walk around as well. Life is not about producing. That is something that has been created by corporations for a particular reason, that's created by society to keep us all productive and on that hamster wheel. They don't call it the rat race for nothing. And I'm here to be real with you about, this is a struggle definitely for millennials, certainly with Gen Z, and then even Gen Alpha for any of those youngsters that may get onto this video, is that the reality for us, it's not going to be the same as our parents, and it's not going to be the same as our grandparents. If you look at home buying, if you look at just decreases in population replacement rates, you look at affordability, you look at inflation, and it not having a very clear long-term outcome and solution, we're just not going to have the same style of life. So I know that'll upset a lot of people and be like, oh yeah, stop bitching, stop whining, stop complaining, you gotta just put your head down and work harder. My thing with it is you can be stressed out about all that, or you can take the circumstances and situations as is and just start enjoying life for what it has to offer in 2025, which is actually still a lot more than our ancestors necessarily got to have. We don't get to keep all these things that we buy and our stock portfolio after we die. Sure, we can pass it on to our family. We can see that some generations aren't necessarily doing some of these. Don't want to call them out too much. But the important thing for you and your karmic energy as well is to live life in joy, live life in peace, live life in positivity, helping others also enjoy their lives. So, I'm maybe kind of thought of as a person that is enjoying the decline. And maybe that is exactly what I'm saying. But that's not me, bugs, that's not me advocating for you to be financially irresponsible. bring on a bunch of credit card debt and go get everything your life could want. Live within your means, because that once again will improve the quality of life that you have later down the line, especially when you're older. But learn to simplify and be present. You know, you could go on a vacation 2 or 3 times a year, spend $3,000 to $5,000 on something like that to get your rest and relaxation and recharging time. Or you could do something like this every single weekend and get the same result. I'm giving you guys permission to enjoy life. I'm giving you guys permission to relax. I'm giving you guys permission to play video games, play board games, take out a puzzle, and paint and draw. Do artistic endeavors. Do things that make you feel whole, make you feel relaxed and content, with no other reason besides just doing it. So I want to address a guilt around rest. This is something that I've basically had, almost my whole adult life I've actually had guilt around resting. That is where, hey, if I'm not making some sort of money, doing some sort of something productive, not emailing a client or looking up new leads and prospects for my day job, if I'm not working on my training business or my content, that, I'm somehow a failure in that moment. And it keeps you in this constant state of anxiety that will eventually burn you out. Like, your body will not just let you keep going in that direction over and over and over. So people will ask, well, how come I see all these high achievers that are just grinding for 18 hours a day on my social media channels? I'm not going to call them liars, but the people that even are able to do that, they're just different, and that's okay. And we think we can learn to start accepting that the majority of us aren't just going to have this crazy ass work ethic. And I don't think it's required for us to enjoy lives to have that work ethic. And I think if you don't have that work ethic, it's a lot of wasted energy for you aspiring to have it and feeling that you need to have it and wondering why you don't have that level of work ethic. Because striving to have a multi-million-dollar business and doing everything possible that you can, where I'm going to have this or I'm going to die trying style. Okay, cool. Like I'm glad that you have goals, but there's so much to enjoy in this life that has nothing to do with that level of income and productivity in the world. You have so many people around you that you can help and care for. You can go and volunteer. You can go enjoy nature. You can live an enjoyable life without doing that. Having rest is a requirement for you to be productive. Rest should not be considered a reward. You should not have to earn your rest. So let's talk about what rest or being restful actually is. So there's 2 states that your body can be in for your autonomic nervous system. That would be a sympathetic state, and that would be a parasympathetic state. So let's distinguish between the 2 of them. Quite simply, your sympathetic state is the state of stress. That is where your body is thinking with its monkey brain, return to monkey, that you have the saber-toothed tiger after you. There's a predator in the bushes. You are starving. You have to get prepared for the winter or some type of event. Something's in danger. Versus the parasympathetic state, which is a state of restfulness, calm, and really specifically is going to be triggering a few processes in your body. A lot of that being around digestion and healing. So when you're in a parasympathetic state, you have the vagus nerve, vagus nerve. I live in Vegas, so like, what is the vagus nerve? It's your luck nerve that makes you get more money when you're at the slots or some shit. So your vagus nerve, that runs all the way from basically your brainstem all the way down to your colon. And when the vagus nerve is activated, it starts digestive processes, because you got to think about it, at the end of the day, you got all that food that you're digesting, and your body is digesting it as it goes, but not in a very dedicated sense. So your vagus nerve is gonna start working on breaking all of your dinner down, your lunches down, etc. Also, it's going to start activating, helping those hormones, your thyroid hormone, your growth hormone. You're going to get greater levels of your protein synthesis and kind of this muscle growth factors. So all these things are happening, and they're required for you, especially for somebody that maybe is into physical fitness. You need this for recovery. So our body in a parasympathetic state, it needs 2 to 3 hours a day to fully recover and to get ourselves in a good spot, especially for sleep. During the parasympathetic state, also, we're reducing our cortisol. So cortisol, of course, is that dreaded stress hormone. Why do we want cortisol to be down? Cortisol will place us in a variety of hormonal, let's say, conditions, where we are more likely to have elevated heart rate, racing thoughts, overall anxiety. Nobody wants to just sit there with a lot of anxiety. It also will put you in some spots where your body, for resources, when it gets extra resources, is way more likely to, in this high cortisol state, start storing it as fat, and specifically belly fat, that core spot at the end of all of our fat reserves that we're all trying to get rid of. Is our body says, we are stressed AF, and I need to store some body fat because there's something coming. I gotta be ready for whatever's coming along. This is all primordial things that our body has to do. And we're dealing in a non-primordial world. So if you're having a high amount of stress, high amount of cortisol, and not getting restful, then you go to Chick-fil-A, your body's like, okay, great, Chick-fil-A, lot of calories here, store them away. There's something going on, guys. Like we need to store this away. And even if you are lifting weights and being active, it's not going to use those resources in the same level for muscle protein synthesis and using it towards even things like your ligaments and other processes and other areas of the body. So, it's no wonder why very, very stressed people also are more likely to get injured because their body isn't properly healing. Another thing that will show that you are in this sympathetic state is your brain's constant need for input. Your brain in this state wants to be constantly awake and working. You're going to want to consume a lot of caffeine. You're going to want to have YouTube and music blasting all the time, and just constant level of input, because it wants to be very, very alert. I'm wandering out in the desert a little bit far, so I'm gonna turn around here. And it's looking for all those nice hormones like dopamine and not necessarily serotonin, but basically those dopamine hits, just to keep itself very, very active and alert. And you aren't able to just sit there. So I think a great exercise and ability for a lot of people to have is to be able to sit in a room for 10 minutes and just be with themselves, right? Scary thought. I think it's pretty scary for me sometimes too. I got all kinds of strange, intrusive thoughts that'll come up. But letting those thoughts kind of like pass through and just being able to sit there in the quiet, it's actually a skill set now that not everyone is able to do. And then of course, with that level of access that these things are going to provide, that's not going to allow you to actually enjoy your rest and relaxation time. So let's say that you're with your family on vacation, trying to enjoy Sunday, and you're just constantly on your phone looking for these emails to come through at Saturday at 10 a.m. I think these people that do this stuff on the weekend are crazy, and also actually a little bit disrespectful for sending across these items for everything that can be waiting for Monday morning. You don't have to get in front of people's space. And there is a greater awareness that's happening around this, but it's still really rooted in core corporate and working culture for us to just, hey, you know I've had your time for 80% of your week, but I want more. All right, cool. I'm stressed all the time, Justin. How the hell do I get into a parasympathetic state to help me become more restful and get some of the benefits of these processes? So my big weapon here is, especially, so I train when I get home. So any of that right after work, if you do the training right after work, you can kind of put yourself in a really good mood by, finishing your day with something that's reasonably hard, kind of alleviating the rest of that stress and emotional kind of stress and emotion into the weight training. Also, you're going to put a variety of endorphins in your system, which is, feel-good chemicals essentially. But if you're not working out right after work and you're doing it at the beginning of the day, I think when you get home, maybe I would prefer to see a 20 to 30 minute walk after your dinner, supper, whichever one you guys want to go with. I'm from the Midwest. After your dinner, that 20 to 30 minute walk, that's a huge weapon, because first of all, if after eating food for digestion, that's a really good process for digestion, get blood flow going, start the gastric emptying process to be a bit better. It also will lower your blood sugar. But during that walk, what I would like to see people do is to get to a point where after 5 to 10 minutes, they just start noticing things along their route, which is cracks in the sidewalk, the birds, running water somewhere, the wind, the leaves. Really kind of embrace some of the nature portions of it. And I know what some people are going to say, I don't have any nature around me, Justin. Like, am I supposed to drive an hour away? It's like, not necessarily. You can still get some of these effects in concrete, walking around a city. Just being essentially present is what we're looking for. And during that time, you're going to have a lot of racing thoughts from your day. The way I describe it to people, the best way to kind of go about this is to have that thought come up, simply acknowledge that it's there and let it pass away. When you talk about like the sheep jumping over the fence when you're going to sleep, right? It's kind of similar to that, where you're just kind of like seeing them, letting them go, seeing them, letting them go. Just don't let them linger. They're gonna try to linger, just let them go. Your mind's saying, hey, here's a concern, and just let it go past. At some point, you're gonna train yourself you're gonna have a greater and greater sense of awareness. When you have that greater sense of awareness for being present, that's when you know that your mind has started to shift into a state where it feels a lot safer. So when you go home and go inside, now you're able to finally get into a better parasympathetic state. Start doing some things you enjoy, like reading a book, watching Netflix, playing some video games, etc. Whatever, dealer's choice there, right? Also, I do have to talk specifically to my lifting friends here, and everybody should be doing some form of strength training. A really big advocate of resistance barbell training. I need everybody to think of themselves like they're a bear or a gorilla, right? You guys went in, you guys killed an elk, and then you guys ate, 400 pounds of food. Now you need to go rest. Your body's in rest and recovery mode. If you inhibit rest and recovery mode by going and doing too much working, getting yourself worked up over a variety of things, whether it be work or, going back and training too much for too long, that's a whole nother video topic there. Your body's not getting a chance to just start diverting all those resources towards recovery as soon as you can. The faster you can do that, the faster you can grow, the faster you can get new PRs, and the faster you can grow some muscle. So let's talk about this newer trend word called cozy maxing. Looks maxing, cozy maxing. I love it. I love the level of awareness and wellness that we have in 2025 to just help people out with life. So how do I cozy max? What does Justin's life look like at night when he's trying to relax? Well, what I do is I'm an intermittent faster. So I try to get in a lot of food towards the end of my day. It's very difficult to get that in. One meal after training sometimes. Well, I basically eat 3 meals if you don't include like an intra-workout meal. I get myself a big old bowl of yogurt. Makes me feel like I'm a fat kid with ice cream, right? A couple protein scoops in there. Right now I'm big on chocolate. So double chocolate, scoop of protein, big old bowl of yogurt. I'm probably eating about 80 grams of protein. I hit about 230 so grams of protein a day. And then I put some of this nice Hershey's zero sugar syrup slop that I'm sure is made with perfectly awesome chemicals, but of course it's just a little bit I have at the end of the day, nothing too crazy. Everything in moderation, guys. Then I get on the couch, sometimes even in bed. Yes, I'll eat in bed. Oh my God, guys, like, so what a heathen, right? And then I'll watch things like, I'm guilty of it. I watch some Let's Plays of people playing like horror video games. Watch some news on football, Miami Dolphins, big Miami Dolphins fan. They're gonna suck this year, but I'm still paying attention to it. Also, just pop culture on some of my favorite franchises. Godzilla, Aliens, Predator. Those are the type of things that'll actually get me out to movie theater. I don't really like to Netflix and chill in the sense that I will watch new TV shows or even watching movies that often. For a while I wondered, why the hell am I like this? Well, it's because I don't really like when I'm in that state of truly having to pay attention, to have to dedicate and focus any attention to understanding who these characters are and who the hell it is. Instead, I just want to be casually watching, casually learning. Nothing really matters at that time. I might go over to my phone, watch some funny memes. The scrolling thing there, as opposed to during the middle of the day when you're checking a lot of things out of like this level of requirement, it's a little bit different. I'm not advocating for you to be on your phone all the time, but it is a behavior at the end of the day, as long as my hope is that you have lowered brightness on your phone that can be good for relaxing in 2025. So I've just got this big old bowl of yogurt down. About 30 minutes later, I'm ready to crash. I'm ready to go to sleep. I've had a full day. Now for me, that's usually around 8:30, 9 p.m. Of course, showered and done that whole kind of wind down time. Warm water, guys, like enjoy your showers. That definitely will get you into a parasympathetic state. A very important point for me to talk about is caffeine. So caffeine will inhibit that parasympathetic state and will keep cortisol relatively high. If you consume it within the 6-hour window before bedtime, if I had a choice, I'd like to see people to not have it in any of their afternoon. Yes, that means if you work out in the afternoon, not having a pre-workout. Can you use some other thing to stimulate you? Maybe the pain of lovers once lost. But find some other way to get you going there, get that one last burst of energy for the day, and it is time to chill the F out. So just gonna wrap this up. Being in a restful state is not about laziness. It is a requirement for all of us to continue functioning well in our lives and giving our best for ourselves and our families and our loved ones. If you want to be that career-oriented person, think of it like this: giving your best to your career, giving your best to your clients. You need the rest to perform for 90% of people. If you want to keep striving to be a grind set hustle person for 18 hours a day, even though you may not be wired for it, because there's literally times where people can operate on 4 hours of sleep and be just fine. Medically, they're just fine, but those are just genetically different people. 99% of us just can't do it, and it's okay to accept that. So turn the hustle off, slow down, enjoy life. And if you guys enjoy just this little adventure and walk and talk video, please like and subscribe if you find some sort of value. We're a growing channel here, and love to see you guys around next time for the topic: enjoy life, be unapologetically well.